Drinking water first thing in the morning. Most people wake up and immediately reach for two things: their phone and the snooze button. Meanwhile, their body is in the background waving a tiny dehydrated flag like, "Hi, we just went 8 hours without water. Can we maybe prioritize that?" Here's the science. While you're asleep, your brain actually shrinks a little from dehydration. Not enough to panic, just enough to explain why your first thought of the day is usually something profound like, "Where am I?" Drinking water first thing doesn't look impressive. It's not a personality trait. Influencers don't make emotional montages about it. But it rapidly rehydrates your brain, improves blood flow, and gives your metabolism the courtesy of showing up to work on time. Motivation won't get you out of bed. Hydration, meanwhile, gives your neurons enough electrical stability to remember why you walked into the room in the first place. Is it boring? Completely. Does it work better than waiting to be struck by inspiration like some kind of productivity lightning bolt? Yes. Aggressively yes. And honestly, if a single glass of water can raise your baseline functioning, that's not a you problem. That's evolution tapping you on the shoulder like, "Please hydrate, we're begging you." Making your bed. Some people say making your bed is pointless. Why bother? I'm just going to ruin it again tonight. Excellent logic. And by that standard, we should probably also cancel showering, eating, and cleaning anything ever. Here's what's actually happening. Making your bed gives your brain a tiny, low-effort win. It's the neurological equivalent of tricking yourself into believing you're a productive member of society. Your brain gets a small spike of accomplishment. Nothing dramatic, just enough dopamine to prove you're capable of finishing something. And on the behavioral side, small completed tasks create what psychologists call a success momentum loop. In plain English, doing one responsible thing makes the next responsible thing slightly less unbearable. Plus, when you come home after a long day of making countless decisions, at least your room doesn't look like an active crime scene. There's 1 square foot of order waiting for you. Is it boring? Absolutely. Does it somehow improve your entire day anyway? For reasons no one fully understands? Yes. Taking a 10-minute walk after meals. Most people finish eating and immediately become one with their furniture. "I'm in a food coma," they say, as if their body just performed a medical miracle instead of digesting their meal. But here's what healthy people do. They stand up and take a 10-minute walk. Nothing intense, no marathon training, just a casual loop around the block like a retired mall walker with new Skechers. And the science is painfully clear. Even a short walk stabilizes your blood sugar, boosts digestion, and prevents that post-meal crash that makes you question every life choice you've ever made. It's essentially telling your metabolism, "Hey, let's participate today." Meanwhile, the couch comatose version of you is still trying to reboot like an overheated laptop. Is it glamorous? Not even slightly. Does it work? Your digestive system wishes you'd started doing this years ago. Going to bed at the same time every night. Some people treat their sleep schedule like a roulette wheel. Monday, asleep by 10. Friday, up until 3 a.m. Sunday, sleeping until noon like they're auditioning for a documentary about human hibernation. At this point, their circadian rhythm is basically a confused intern trying to follow instructions that keep changing. Meanwhile, the boring people, the ones who seem suspiciously functional, go to bed at the same time every night. Weekdays, weekends, doesn't matter. Their body runs on a schedule so consistent, it might as well be a subscription service. And here's the science. Your brain loves predictability. A consistent sleep time regulates your circadian rhythm, reduces cortisol, improves recovery, and helps you wake up without considering a return policy on adulthood. You feel clearer, calmer, and slightly less like a gremlin emerging from a cave. Is it boring? Absolutely. Does it work? Your nervous system would send you a thank you note if it could. Eating the same breakfast every day. Some people eat the same breakfast every day, like they're a cooking show judge who already knows the winner and refuses to taste anything else. Why gamble with chaos when oatmeal has never betrayed me? Oatmeal, eggs, the same smoothie they've made so many times they could assemble it blindfolded. Here's the psychology. Every choice you make drains mental energy. It's called decision fatigue. The reason you're completely exhausted by lunchtime. When you eliminate tiny morning decisions, like, what should I eat? You save willpower for more important choices, like not impulse buying a robot vacuum named Gary. Consistency in breakfast isn't exciting, but it gives your brain one less problem to solve before it's even fully operational. While you're staring into the fridge waiting for inspiration, these people are already fed, focused, and halfway through their to-do list. Is it boring? Brutally. Does it work? Your prefrontal cortex would like you to please keep doing this. Tracking your spending. There's always that one person who knows exactly where their money goes. Not because they're cheap, but because they track every expense. Coffee, subscriptions, that impulsive 11 p.m. purchase you swore you needed for your mental health. All of it. Logged. Meanwhile, most people check their bank account like they're peeking through their fingers during a horror movie. How do I only have this much left? Well, because you spent it. You just weren't paying attention. Here's the psychology. When you track your spending, you bring awareness to your habits, and awareness triggers behavioral change. It forces your brain to confront reality, which is uncomfortable but extremely effective. Without tracking, your finances operate on vibes, denial, and whatever's left after rent. Tracking isn't glamorous. It's not fun. No one has ever said, "I had such a relaxing night categorizing my expenses." But it's one of the quickest ways to build control, reduce anxiety, and stop wondering where your money mysteriously disappeared like it had its own escape plan. Is it boring? Completely. Does it work? Your future bank statements will send their heartfelt thanks. Reading before bed instead of scrolling. Most people end their day by blasting their brain with enough screen time to fry an egg. They scroll through news, drama, and whatever chaos the algorithm serves, then wonder why they can't sleep. Your brain is basically saying, "You fed me anxiety-flavored electricity. What exactly did you expect?" Meanwhile, the boring people, the ones who fall asleep peacefully like it's their hobby, read actual books before bed. Nothing wild, just a chapter or two of something that isn't screaming for their attention every 3 seconds. Here's the psychology. Reading signals your brain to wind down. It reduces cognitive stimulation, lowers stress, and helps shift your nervous system into rest mode. Screens do the opposite. They hijack your reward pathways and light up your neurons like a slot machine that keeps paying out in pure overstimulation. While you're lying there marinating in everyone else's drama at 1 a.m., these people are drifting off like they've never heard of insomnia. Is it boring? Extremely. Does it work? Ask anyone who sleeps well. They'll answer after their peaceful 8 hours. Meal prepping on Sundays. There's always that one person who never seems stressed about food. They're not panicking after a long workday wondering what to eat. They're not ordering takeout for the 3rd time in a week. They just open the fridge and pull out a perfectly portioned meal like it's nothing. Meanwhile, most people spend the week playing fridge bingo with random ingredients. Do I have anything edible? Is this supposed to smell like that? Spoiler, the answer is usually no. Here's the psychology. Meal prepping reduces decision fatigue, stabilizes blood sugar, and eliminates the nightly "what do I eat" crisis that ruins both your mood and your bank account. It gives your brain predictability, which lowers stress, and your body consistency, which improves energy and digestion. Meal prepping isn't glamorous. You spend a couple of hours on Sunday chopping vegetables like you're running a small restaurant for one. But for the rest of the week, you're eating like someone who actually has their life together. Is it exciting? Not at all. Does it work?
Your future self will want to hug you.
Taking actual mental breaks. Most people think a mental break means switching from work stress to phone stress. They scroll, they watch videos, they consume enough content to power a small data center, and then they wonder why they still feel exhausted. That's because scrolling isn't a break. It's just giving your brain a new flavor of chaos. Meanwhile, the boring but suspiciously stable people take real breaks. They stare out a window. They stretch. They sit quietly like a brain that's just closed all 47 open tabs. It looks unproductive, but their brain is actually resetting instead of absorbing more noise. Here's the psychology. Your brain needs moments of low stimulation to process information and recover. Constant input keeps your nervous system in on mode, which drains your attention, reduces creativity, and slowly turns you into a tired Wi-Fi router that keeps dropping the signal. A real break pulls you out of input mode and into recovery mode, the mental equivalent of letting your brain breathe for a second. Is it thrilling? Absolutely not. Does it work? Your nervous system has been whispering, "Please stop," for years. The 10-minute tidy. There's always that one person whose place never looks messy.
So grab a broom, let's sweep away.
Not because they deep clean constantly, but because they do a 10-minute tidy every day. Just 10 minutes. Dishes, counters, putting things back where they allegedly belong. Meanwhile, everyone else lets the mess accumulate until it achieves full disaster documentary status. Then they spend hours cleaning and questioning every decision that led them here. Here's the psychology. Small, consistent maintenance prevents overwhelm. Your brain loves environments with low visual clutter. It reduces stress, improves focus, and makes you feel slightly less like your life is held together with random piles and emotional tape. A quick daily reset keeps your space functional, so you're not spiraling every time you look at your counters. It's not glamorous. No one brags about wiping crumbs. But a clean space supports a calm nervous system and keeps your environment from becoming a reflection of the chaos inside your head. Is it boring? Painfully. Does it work? Completely. Which is why their place feels peaceful and yours feels like an ongoing war zone. Here's the funny thing about boring habits. None of them feel life-changing while you're doing them. But stick them together like duct tape and suddenly your life starts running smoother than it ever has. And the real plot twist? You stop craving motivation altogether because you finally realize you don't need it. Consistent good habits are what you've needed all along. If you want more oddly simple yet satisfying truths like this, subscribe. Your future self will thank you.